You're listening to Online Pet Health Podcasts with Dr. Megan Kelly. Continuing education for veterinarian rehabilitation therapists. Learn more at onlinepethealth.com.
Hey Vetrehabbers, the Online Pet Health team are back this week from a much needed festive season break, and it's great to be back online and at the computer planning out your continuing education for 2023. Today we're going to be chatting about social media. Now this is an area that is rapidly changing, and sometimes it's actually hard to keep up to date with the changes, but it's important that we do because we want to be sure the time we are spending on social media is giving us a return on that time investment. Now Carly Edwards, who is a pet business marketing coach, joins me and we discuss the trends for social media marketing for 2023, what changes are happening and how this will affect our social media marketing strategies. We chat about a new social media platform and which platforms we think you should be concentrating on. For those of you that are not Online Pet Health paid members, we do have a limited access free membership, and we have 3 webinars in that area at the moment. They are Muscle Activation and Cruciate Disease by Carrie Adrian, Equine Introduction to Neonatal Physiotherapy, Hilly Hattinen, and the Clinical Management of Forelimb Lameness, lectured by Amy Kings. Out of interest, in our paid platform, we have 196 hours now of small animal specific vet rehab learning, 130 hours of equine specific vet rehab learning, and 98 hours of hydrotherapy specific learning. So if you're not a paid member, you can go to onlinepethealth.com and become a paid member. If you would like to be a free member, you can access that by signing up at onlinepethealth.com/free. So over to Carly. Hey Carly, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
Carly, I always love these chats because I always learn something from you. So I'm excited to be chatting about 2023. What are the things that we should be looking out for social media? Because I think the one thing for vet rehabbers is time is our most precious commodity. You know, we don't have a lot of time. So most of the time we are treating patients. We have a very small amount of time to do any of the administration and business side of things, and marketing being one of them. And then, you know, social media marketing and the digital marketing can often take up a lot of our time. And so we really want to make sure that what we're doing is exactly the right things that we should be doing, and we're moving the needle, because we can spend a lot of time wasting our time on social media. And I really feel like, especially the last 6 to 8 months, there's just been such a change on social media. Things are just different. Like what you did at the beginning of last year is completely different to what you're going to be doing now in 2023. So yeah, I'm super excited to be chatting about this. What do you think the biggest change is going to happen now in 2023? What are the things that we should be thinking about?
Yeah, so I think the most important thing to bear in mind at the moment is things have changed in the kind of external world, right? So in terms of, you know, what's happening in the world right now with energy price rises and with food prices, you know, in the UK in particular, because I'm in the UK. I don't know if this is the same for you, Meg, in South Africa.
It is the same. Yeah.
Yeah. So with all that happening, and, you know, inflation at the moment is like over 12% or something. It's crazy. So this has like pushed a lot of people into poverty at the moment, which is really, really sad to see. But it's also affecting how people are showing up online, you know, what they're doing on social media, who they're following, who they're listening to, and the time that they actually spend there as well. People are consciously kind of thinking about not being online as much and being more offline and spending more time with their family and the people that matter to them in their lives. But there's a real need at the moment for authenticity and integrity online at the moment, because people are being more cautious than ever about who they trust, who they follow, who they listen to on social media. This is so important. So it means that this has an impact on the kind of content that we share, and we need to get a little bit more considered about what we're sharing online, smarter about the types of content that we're sharing as well, because we need to be building that connection with people in a much deeper way. It really does, you know, it's such a big thing at the moment that that people aren't just being kind of, they're not just there to consume nonsense on social media. They don't want that. They want to feel that real connection with other people, and that includes businesses. So there's at the moment, as business owners, we really need to be showing more of our human side. I always talk about this. I talk about this a lot because it's so, so important. We don't want to be putting up those barriers between us, as business owners and our audience. We really need to be showing more of our personality, more into the stories and the past experiences that we've had as people, as human people, so that other people can really relate to us, and they can get inspiration from that as well. So it's really, really important that we just share those stories. Don't feel that's part of the problem with some of this, I think, is that we can get that fear of being judged online as well.
Yeah.
And we get really fearful of opening up to other people and worrying about what other people are going to think of us. But we need to kind of move past that and move past that fear and really just open ourselves up to other people that are online, and let that personality and that you-ness come through in the content that you share. That's the important thing at the moment, because that's what's really going to connect you to other people. That's what's going to make people stop scrolling when they are scrolling and they spend time on social media and listen to you and want to follow you. That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you know that book, Marketing Rebellion by Mark Schaefer.
Yes.
So
yeah.
it was actually my 100th podcast I did with
okay.
Mark Schaefer. And this was now this was in lockdown. I did that podcast, and he called it back 3 years ago. He was like, this is what's going to happen. And so everything you're saying now is in that book. It's he's like, this is what's going to happen. People are going to rebel against anything marketing. They want connection. And so everything you're saying is what he predicted was going to happen, and it's happening now. And I think, you're so right about, just being authentic and being real and sharing stories. I think the stories is big because people love hearing stories. I'm actually listening to an audiobook at the moment, and it's really great because it teaches things. There's a guy who's basically reading his book and teaching, but then in between the chapters is a story that you follow about a couple, and it's actually teaching the principles, but I'm remembering so much more because I'm listening to the story. So everything he teaches, then I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now. I can put it into context, because of the stories that he shared. So yeah, I mean, I think that for us, and thinking about what you were speaking about now about the judging, it's sometimes hard to put yourself out there. Sometimes it's nice just to be behind the logo of your practice, but you can't be anymore. You have to show your personality. And I saw a great video the other day about judgment, and it really actually made me look into myself. And it was a lady who's a social media guru, and she basically said if you're a person who's fearing judgment, maybe you actually need to look inside to yourself and wonder why you fear judgment. And it's probably because you judge other people. And I was like, whoa, that is true. That is a true story, I will look at something and then I'll be like, oh, you'll make a judgment, And once you stop doing that, then you'll stop fearing being judged, because you're only judging people, you're only fearing being judged because you think people are doing what you're doing. So, I mean, I don't think that I'm a judgmental person. I mean, most of the time, I'm not, but I guess I must be, because I fear being judged. So I thought to myself, I must catch myself if I ever just make any judgments on anything anyone's ever posted. Yeah, we just want to be sharing uplifting and supportive posts and just have those kind of feelings, because when we have those feelings, then hopefully we won't have that fear of judgment.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the big thing as well is to drop from your head to your heart and focus on just being of service to people, because we can let our kind of ego mind, I suppose, and all of those fears are just coming from a place of our own ego, where we're thinking, oh, I'm scared, I'm letting the fear getting in the way of, I'm fearing that judgment. All of that's coming from a place of ego. But you just drop from that place, which is all up here in your head, and then just drop down to your heart and think, people really need to hear this message. This is my purpose. This is my intention for the world. This is what I want to help people achieve. This is the impact I want to make. Focus on being of service instead of getting caught up in here, right? Up in your head. So yeah, absolutely. Just focus on that. That's the thing. And in that case, often the fear can subside just a little bit when you think about doing it in that way. But yeah, when I was kind of first starting out in business, for sure, I didn't really share anything about myself at all. I'm very much an introverted, a pretty private person, to be honest, normally in my personal life. But in order for me to grow my business, I needed to get myself out there and really let people into my world in a much, much bigger way. So, normally I wouldn't share the kind of posts that I do share to social media about, my personal life and my stories and that kind of thing. It's just not what I normally do. But because I am a business owner, because I need to connect with my audience, it's necessary for me to do that. It's a necessary evil, I suppose you would call it. But yeah, the more you do it, the easier it gets as well. You just think, oh yeah, I'm just going to type this out and share this thing. Before, I would have been totally, terrified and been second guessing myself. Probably would have taken about 2 hours for me to actually publish that. But now I'm going to share this thing. It's going to really help people. So I'm going to get that out there. So yeah, it's just moving past that fear a bit, I think, initially, for sure.
So Kylie, with all we've discussed now about, the changes that are happening in the world, how should we be changing our social media strategies going forward now for this year?
Yeah, I think the first thing actually is to have a strategy. That is the first thing that you need. There is, winging it and just posting anything whenever is not going to work going forwards. I know that everyone is, a lot of business owners, we're time poor, right? We want the most efficient, the quickest ways to do anything in our businesses. So we need to set aside that time to actually create that strategy in the first place. So really thinking about, what those content pillars are for your business. What is the kind of content that you want to share right now with your audience? What are you going to be known for, essentially? Really thinking about what some of those content pillars are going to be, and think about your posting schedule, how often you want to show up online, because it doesn't have to be every single day if that doesn't work for you. It's a nice thing to have if you do show up every day for your audience, but you can if you wanted to, and if it makes more sense for you to do that, and you're going to produce more quality content, if you wanted to show up 3 times a week or 2 times a week, that's absolutely fine. The main thing that you need to bear in mind is being consistent with that. So again, this is not just a trend for 2023, but it's something that's, in the lifetime of social media, consistency is the biggest thing that you need. Being a predictable presence in your audience's lives, where they know exactly when you're going to be showing up, and yeah, they're going to look forward to your post, that kind of thing. So having that strategy in the first place, knowing exactly what it is that you're going to be sharing there, when you're going to be sharing it, yeah, and just making sure that you're sharing the kind of content that your ideal customer is really going to resonate with. This is the big thing, because I think a lot of people miss the mark a little bit on their messaging, and that's where your engagement can suffer and your reach can suffer as well on social media. So it's testing things out, looking at your analytics as well, and interpreting that data. So seeing, what kind of content is actually really resonating with people, what is making people comment on it, like it, share it, making a mental note of that, or a physical note, writing all of this stuff down, and sharing the same kind of content again and again. not necessarily, it could be the topic, could be that particular topic is really resonating with people. It could be, there's lots of variables there. It could be the image that you're sharing, the layout of that post, that kind of thing. But really digging into those kind of details and understanding what's going to work best for you, your business, and your audience. That's the key. So really looking at those insights there.
Yeah, I think when we're looking at the analytics, in the like Meta Business Suite, whatever, I think it's called Insights now.
Yeah.
And you go in there, for me, I want to be looking at engagements. From what we've been talking about now, that's more important than the likes and the reach even. It's great when you see your reach has got 20,000 or whatever, but if no one's commenting, then you're not really getting that human interaction that we've been discussing. So you actually want commenting, right? You want engagements. And these can happen anywhere in the comments of your posts, but they can also happen in the direct messaging. But really, this is ideal. This is what we should be aiming for, is to get people to comment. And you can do this by creating engaging posts and also putting something in there. So asking them to comment, asking them what their opinion is of something, and try and get them to comment. When we were chatting just before we started the recording, you were mentioning about, gone are the days where we can, somebody comments and we just give them a thumbs up. So what advice do you give to the Vetrehabbers now about the engagement and, especially direct messaging? If somebody comments, what should we be doing with those people?
Yeah, so definitely when people take the time to actually leave a comment on your post, yes, comment back, but it's not just about saying, oh, thanks for leaving a comment, that's awesome, that kind of thing. Keep that conversation going. So ask them questions, because the more that you have that conversation, every single comment that then follows that initial comment is creating more engagement for that post. And more engagement that you get, the more people are going to see that. That's going to boost your overall reach and get your post in front of more people. So whatever that you can do to create more engagement on your posts, which, is just basically having a conversation, having a real human conversation with people, asking them questions, seeing how they're doing, how they're getting on. That's what's really going to help people, help your posts to be seen by more people, improve your engagement, but also improve your reach as well, and can expand your audience, obviously get you in front of a much wider audience. So yeah, it's taking a bit more time to actually interact and engage with people. That's what we need to be seeing, because we've been talking about this, but that connection is what people are craving right now, those real connections with people, because they're not just going to listen to any business owners right now. People don't want to be sold to, they don't want to be marketed to. There's enough going on in the world and enough going on in their lives right now. They just want to have those real conversations with people. And then the great thing about that is when you start doing that, they can then lead to those sales and people actually working with you. Yeah, that's really the key there.
If you guys think about, I'm trying to think, sometimes we have this disconnect between what we do and what we want. And I remember Mark Schaefer speaking about this in my podcast, is you do these things marketing wise and you hate them being done to you, but there is this disconnect. Sometimes you just see all these other people doing it and you think that's what you should be doing, right? So whenever you do something really markety, I want you to think about, how does that make me feel when that happens? And a prime example is how do you feel when somebody cold calls you and tries to sell you something? I feel irritated. And I just don't even want to give them time of day. I just say, I'm not interested. I don't even give them the chance anymore. I'm so tired of them, And so that's what you got to be thinking about. The difference is if somebody actually phoned me and said, I've been following you and, and had a conversation with me and then started helping me with something. Say, I really think I can help you. If you want, I'll give you 20 minutes of my time, whatever. I want to help you. That's very different to somebody right away trying to say, oh, you want to buy my course, or do you want to buy this piece of equipment or whatever? So yeah, we just got to remember that don't have that disconnect. Think about what you like and what you don't like, and then just treat your clients the same way and the way that you share on social media.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Because if something just doesn't feel nice to you, it's basically out of alignment with you and your soul and your personality and stuff. So do what feels good to you, because that's going to really help you in the long run. That's what's going to help people to connect with you, essentially, is doing what feels good to you and not just doing stuff that you think you should be doing because someone else is doing it, or some marketing guru said you should be doing that, right? Because there's a lot of that. Let's be honest, there's a lot of that online. There's a lot of people saying this is the next best thing, this is what you should be doing right now. Yeah, there is definitely a lot of that, but it's about doing what feels, taking inspiration from that, obviously, but doing what feels good for you, doing what feels like is the right strategy for you and your business.
So one of the things that I think I've pushed back for a few years on is video content. And I don't know whether you're the same, Carly, but I mean, I remember like 2 years ago, them saying, all the people saying, it's video content, you got to create video content. And I've just been one of those people. I like to post pictures, like images, I'm not a big video person. And I think it's because the editing of the video for me is time consuming. And I find it difficult because I'm a perfectionist. So when I post an image, I'm happy with the image. When it's a video, there's so many different things that have to be perfect at it, and I never feel like it's good enough. But we really have reached that point now on social media where it is all about video, right? I mean, if you think about it, Instagram has like made announcements now to say that, they're going to be they're just going to be pushing all the video as high up. Reels is the most important thing now. If you post Reels, you're going to get the best reach. It's sort of like everyone's following TikTok. And even Facebook now has their Reels, and their Reels are coming up a whole lot more than they ever did. I see them in my feed all the time. So everyone's sort of going that way. What are the other things that, the algorithm that of, that the algorithm is affected by? So, we know that if we share lives and we share videos, we're going to get pushed up. The algorithm is going to favor us. Are there any other things that you know of that can help get your posts in front of other people?
So definitely creating kind of quite engagement. So I call them engagement starters. Those kind of posts that are going to encourage engagement on your posts, which in turn will tell the algorithm that this is a great post, people are resonating with this, and that's going to show that in front of more people. So, these can be really quick wins where you are just, basically asking a question, a very, very simple question that relates to where people are at right now. So really think about your ideal customer and what's going on for them in their lives at the moment, and post questions that really relate to that. We want uplifting content at the moment as well. People are going to social media. They don't want to be, what's that word, doom scrolling? That was like a thing in 2020 or something like that, where people go and they were just kind of scrolling and looking at all of the disasters and things that are going on in the world. We're moving away from that. We don't really want to be doing that anymore as social media users. We're actively searching for more uplifting content. So anything around funny pet memes and quick polls and things that people can get involved in, that's going to boost engagement on your posts, which then is going to tell the algorithm that this needs to be shown to more people because people are interacting with it. So that's just a really quick, easy way to kind of tell the algorithm that you are posting quality content that is going to be super valuable to its users, which is what Facebook really wants. But yeah, like you said, videos, live videos, Reels right now, everything seems to be going that way, which is
shorter. Like they're going now with video content, they want like 15 seconds. It's sort of like everyone's trying to just follow what TikTok's doing.
I know. And TikTok is just not my favorite platform at all. And it's incredible how its popularity, it's just so popular right now. And Facebook seems to be trying to copy that as well. They're really trying to latch on to those really short form kind of videos, and go all in on that, and making people feel like that's what they need to be doing at the moment, and that's what its users and business owners need to be doing to attract more people to their accounts. And yeah, that's not for me either. You know, I'm not a Reels person. I very, very rarely share Reels. I know it's effective. I know it does work. And, you know, a lot of my clients personally use Reels as well, and they get some great traction with that. And I'm not hugely active on things like video as well. You know, I don't really get out there posting videos regularly. Occasionally I go live, but you know, that's not my kind of primary way of sharing content with people. But if you're comfortable with that, you know, this is just my personal preference as well, I think, because I am quite an introverted person and I find video exhausts me quite a bit. But if you're comfortable with that and you're happy to do that, that's a brilliant way to not only be a positive thing for the algorithms, but also to better connect with your audience as well. Because there's something kind of magical about that face-to-face interaction with people that you don't quite get with just kind of text and photo posts. So if you can do it, and you can possibly work in a strategy around that, where maybe you're showing up kind of once a week on live video, or you're doing kind of like a couple of reels or something a week, that's going to be really, really good for your business for sure. But yeah, just generally kind of posting engagement type posts are going to help the algorithms see you as someone that should be pushed out there in front of more people.
Yeah, and also, I mean, a lot of now how Meta and Facebook is run is by bots, right? And artificial intelligence. I mean, they are like picking up posts now that, I mean, and I've seen in lots of groups, like I'm on these like social media groups, they'll be like a bot like said my post is, you know, something. And we had one the other day. We had one that was like, it was on like elbow dysplasia, and it was like a warning like for like sexual kind of things, and we were like, there's absolutely nothing sexual in that at all, but obviously the bot picked us up, you know. And then you can go there and you say no, like you bot, you're off the mark here, and it's all good. But artificial intelligence and the bots and all that, you know, all those kind of things are changing now a lot, and it's going to affect how our posts get out there and how much exposure we get.
Yeah, so I've recently kind of read a little article online, and this is coming from Mark Zuckerberg himself, that basically Facebook has announced that there will be more posts recommended by AI, which also means, though, that's a good thing for us, because it means that our posts and pages will be suggested to more people. It looks like it's heading to around kind of 40%-ish of the content in our main feeds will be from pages we don't follow. So that is a great thing. That's great news for business owners and a great opportunity, because it means that, and particularly recently, because we've been seeing, you know, Facebook reach in particular has been down really, really, you know, it's causing a lot of stress actually for a lot of business owners, that they're spending a lot of this time on creating content and getting it out there, and then no one's actually seeing it. Yeah. Which is heartbreaking. But it looks like, you know, in the next year that it's going more towards Facebook showing more of our posts, business owners' posts, to other people. So it'll just show up more naturally in other people's feeds. So, you know, it's, you know, that's a great thing. It's a great opportunity for us, because it means that more people are going to be able to see our posts. All of that hard work that we put into those posts that we're creating, yeah, more people are going to be able to see it, and it's going to be more of an opportunity to grow our audience and to also bring those people into our business and make more money, essentially, which is what we want, right? That's why we're in business. So that's, yeah, really, really interesting to see that development. And yeah, this is basically because Facebook is going the way that TikTok is, and the way that it shows its content to wider audiences and not just the people that you follow. because TikTok, you can see videos from all different people's accounts, and you don't have to necessarily follow them. So Facebook wants to kind of go more down that route in that direction. So it'll be interesting to see that play out, and actually over the last kind of few months, lots of people, business owners and Facebook pages, have actually been getting a notice that they've kind of qualified for more visibility on their Facebook page. I don't know if you've seen that, Meg.
I got one the other day. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I just didn't know what that was about. I was like,
yeah. So it's just like, it's seeing, Facebook is basically recognizing that you're doing a good job. You're posting some great content out there. People are interacting with it. So it's rewarding you with a little bit more visibility.
Mm.
So that's a good thing to see, because it's kind of confirmation that it is going in that direction, that they are going to be showing more of our posts to other people. But it's not, they haven't done that for everyone at the moment. That seems like it's just a select few, well, not few, but probably select kind of thousands upon thousands of accounts that they're doing that for right now. But it's, it's good news, really. It's showing that there's opportunity there for us to improve our reach into next year, because I think a lot of people have been frustrated over the last few years with Facebook's algorithms, the reach that they're getting. It's poor. It can be really, really poor. So this is a nice news going on here at the moment, I think, for all of us.
Yeah, listen, that'll be great. I mean, who knows? The algorithm is always just like, to be honest, I used to, think like, question often, like, why is this? And then you just realize it's just ups and downs. Like the algorithm is changing all the time, and just like keep doing. And the ones that you're getting engagement on are the ones that are good. Just keep doing the same thing. Yeah. Let's finish off by chatting about the different platforms where we think things are going. I mean, I still, for myself personally, I feel like for people with pet businesses and for the Vetrehabbers, Facebook and Instagram are still up there. I know that there are Vetrehabbers that are on TikTok. I question how much business you're getting from that. So I think you got to decide, like, what is your goal of being on these platforms? For me, it's to get new clients and to keep engaging with your current clients. I don't feel like TikTok you're going to be getting new clients. For me, it's more like posting cute videos and videos of what you do. You might be getting awareness about rehabilitation. So if that's one of your goals, then that's a great place to be on. It really depends on your goal. What are your feelings on all the
I mean, Facebook and Instagram, absolutely. They're the two platforms that I really recommend for any pet business owner. There are millions of people, of pet parents on Facebook. This is always going to be a platform that's going to work for you in terms of raising awareness around your business and bringing more clients into your business, for sure. And Instagram as well. Yeah, that's also a great platform. TikTok, I'm leaning towards the same kind of opinion as you, that it's a fun thing to do, but I'm not entirely sure how effective it is in terms of a marketing strategy for bringing clients into your business, which is ultimately what we all want, right? We all want to use these platforms and spend our time there in order to get something out of that, which is going to be more revenue for our business. Personally, because we're quite time poor business owners as well, we need to be very mindful of where we're spending our time. TikTok would be just like a fun kind of on the side, maybe third platform that I'd be thinking about for my business. Facebook, I'd say, is my primary platform that I recommend. You can't go wrong with Facebook because everyone is on Facebook. Your ideal client is going to be there. If you can, then repurposing content to Instagram is relatively easy. So that saves you a bit of time as well. You don't have to create more content from scratch. But we do want to be creating content for that primary platform that we're on. So say your primary platform is Facebook, create content specifically for Facebook. Don't get kind of bogged down in trying to change that too much for other platforms. Just repurpose it as is. For me, my primary platform is Facebook. It's where I connect with the most pet business owners. It's where I like hanging out as well. So that's also important as well. That's an important factor, is where do you enjoy spending your time? If you don't really like Instagram, I feel like Instagram is having a bit of an identity crisis at the moment. It doesn't really know what it is. So you might feel like Instagram, you want to drop Instagram and just go all in on Facebook. And it's a good thing to be doing that as well, because it means that you're going to just focus your time and attention there. You're going to create a specific strategy for Facebook, and you're going to get better results from that as well by doing that. But yeah, TikTok, I'm on the same kind of wavelength as you on that. I know there are people out there that do, you see those stories all the time, like TikTok is amazing. It's helped me create, 10,000 followers or 100,000 followers, and I make loads and loads of money from them. I think that's very, very rare. And particularly for this kind of business, vet rehabbers, your ideal client isn't necessarily going to be there as well. So it's thinking about that and thinking about where your ideal clients are most likely going to be hanging out. And in my opinion, Facebook and Instagram is where that is.
Yeah. Listen, I think the younger generation is obviously more on TikTok.
Yeah, that's the
thing. But the younger generation that are looking for someone to treat their dog, are they going to TikTok for that? Probably not. So that's not where they're going to go. They're not going to think, I need someone to treat my dog, let me go to TikTok to find that. They're going to go to the vet. So I think that, that the strategy of getting more vet referrals is still a good one. That's going to be evergreen for vet rehabbers. You need to always be getting vet referrals and then supplementing that with some social media marketing to get new people to know about you. Yeah, and I think that TikTok, my feeling, is great for those of you who want to be known as an expert in your field and are wanting to grow a whole lot of followers and want to be a social media kind of, person, out there that is putting yourself out there and, not necessarily for growing your practice. That's my feeling. There is a new social media platform that's just come out called Any Question. Have you heard of that? It's Any Question. Yeah. So it's basically and I think it's going to be a good one for vet rehabbers, because there are actually only 4 pet people on there right now. So you have to be an expert approved by them to be able to answer questions. And it's a bit like Quora, where you go online and somebody asks a question and then specialists and people can answer. This one basically is you write a question, and then one of the specialists comes and videos themselves answering your question. And so you can search for a question, and then you'll be able to find it. And then 7 specialists could have answered that question, and you can listen to all 7 of their answers. So I think it's really great for gathering information. I can see it being really great for veterinary rehabilitation and for just creating awareness about the field. It's obviously international, so somebody in the States, you can answer a question, but I think it is, from my opinion, I think it'll be great for credibility, so to put yourself out there for PR, being one of the specialists on this platform. But it's new, and there are lots of these platforms that come on. I saw one called Mastodon or something like that the other day, like a Twitter lookalike. There's so many. They come and then they have a little bit of a surge and then they go again, and we just still keep the same ones, right? Like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Pinterest, but we know that's not a social media platform. But the same ones always stay around. But you never know. TikTok was one of those, and now it's become one of the leading ones. So yeah, I think we just gotta keep our eye on what is happening out there, keep up to date, and just making sure that whatever we're doing, we are getting a return on investment of our time, because our time is just so valuable.
Yeah, I think the important thing is to go into 2023 with a bit of a strategy, instead of posting from kind of day to day. If you're right now posting something, I don't know, it's taking you away from your clients, and you're just like, oh, I need to share something. Let me just kind of step away for 2 minutes and just share something just to fill that hole in my newsfeed, I suppose, to get something out there. We don't really want to be doing that anymore. We want to be really considering and sitting down. This is why I always recommend batch creating content and scheduling it out, because it just means that you can sit down maybe for a couple of hours or something one morning and write all of your content for the week, get it scheduled out, and then you don't have to worry about it for the rest of the week. This is what I always recommend. But it also means that you can have this top-down view of everything that you're sharing across that week, and gearing that towards, you know, what it is that you want to sell that week as well. And all the content's going to relate, and it's going to make total sense, and it's all going to be, yeah, this is the call to action basically that I want to share this week, which is to talk about my XYZ service and sharing content around that. So yeah, having a strategy, you know, it's going to make life so much easier for you going into 2023 instead of potentially winging it if that's what you're doing right now. Yeah, for sure. That's really going to help.
Carly, thanks so much. It's been great chatting to you as always. You've actually got a membership which really, really, really helps Vetrehabbers, especially if they are looking what content to create. So I never ever remember if it's social on Zoomies or social with Zoomies.
Socials on Zoomies.
Socials on Zoomies, yeah. So yeah, won't you just quickly, if you can just like sort of 30 seconds to 1 minute, just tell the listeners exactly what that's about. If you guys are interested, we will put the link in the show notes.
Yeah, for sure. So this is it's a monthly membership. So if you do struggle with writing content for social media, this is literally giving you 20 social media templates every single month. You get a brand new collection. It's all kind of relevant to what's happening in that month, you know, around some pet awareness days, around, you know, particularly we've just come out of Christmas, so there was some Christmas related, you know, it's quite seasonal, the content there, but it's also taken from my 8 content pillars. So it's really, really important to have this lovely mix of different content types, because it means that, you know, you're going to keep things fresh and you're not going to bore your audience. You're going to increase engagement that way, but it's also going to be intentional as well, so that, you know, you're directing people to buy from you, you know, or book in a call with you, whatever that is. So yeah, they're all pet specific as well. This is the key, because I know there's a lot of templates options out there, template providers that do provide these things, but sometimes it can be like, that makes absolutely no sense for my business at all. So these are all, they're pet centric. So it makes it really, really easy for you to just share them. Sometimes it's just, you can literally copy and paste them into your scheduler. Other times you just need to kind of fill in a couple of blanks to make it relevant to your business. But it's a massive time saver. It takes away a lot of the stress of posting to social media. So yeah, it's a lovely thing. I love providing this for my clients as well, because it just saves them so much time. It takes away that stress around social media and just really helps them get themselves out there and know what kind of content is really going to resonate with their audience as well. So they're getting great results with that as well. So yeah.
Awesome. And 2023 is also exciting for you because you also are releasing your podcast.
I am, yes. Yeah, that's coming out very, very soon. I'm really excited about it actually, because it's going to be a lovely way for me to connect with people, really kind of share what I know as well and my expertise in a much better way. It's going to be my core content essentially, where it's been missing from my marketing strategy, I think. So it's going to be lovely to just do that. And yeah, it's just going to be great. Can't wait.
So what is that going to be? What is it called?
Limitless Pet Business Podcast.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We look forward to it.
Yeah, it's all going to be marketing, productivity, passive income tips. That's basically what it's about.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. Thanks so much for your time, Carly. It's been great chatting.
You're welcome. It's been good to be here. Thank you so much.
Cheers for now.
Bye.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please hit the subscribe button so you get notified every time I load a new podcast. I'm here every week talking to vet rehab therapists from all over the world about all things vet rehab. Don't forget to bookmark the next Vet Rehab Summit on Saturday, the 4th of November. Come and be a part of the world's largest online veterinary rehabilitation conference created specifically for you, the vet rehabber community. Online Pet Health members get VIP complimentary access to the Vet Rehab Summit. For more information about continuing education for vet rehabbers, you can go to onlinepethealth.com.